Okay, so Kyler Murray's he made his rounds. I think it was what the Rich Eisen show and the Dan Patrick show. Is that correct? I think he went on multiple shows.
The Dan Patrick show, at least, is the one I remember that was just atrocious.
Yeah, and he just did not answer any question about the NFL, the NFL Combine, anything. As of right now, I don't believe he has an NFL agent. All he has is Scott Boras, the well-known baseball agent. Yeah. And it wasn't a good look. We don't always look into interview stuff a ton, but when they're at like extreme ends of the spectrum, they're concerning. How concerning are these Kyler Murray interviews?
He should not be doing any public sort of PR. Like, I think they're having him do PR because, that's what you do when you're before the draft. You just want to get your brand out there.
And it was Super Bowl week.
But this is not. Yeah, exactly. But this is not. You shouldn't be building your brand until you actually know what that brand is. Is your brand a quarterback? Or is your brand an outfielder in the MLB? You have to make that decision. I don't see it going to actually hurt his draft stock when it's all said and done in the NFL. But you got to make a decision here at some point. You got to go all in one way or the other, because the hem and haw is just going to turn GMs, scouts off from you.
See, I think it hurts his draft stock. Now, look, if a team takes him at 5, then it's like, all right, he went at 5. But it only takes one team to draft you. But I do think there are already reports.
It only takes one team to pass on you for you to fall 10 more picks.
That's true. And so there's already reports that some teams they're not going to even deal with it. Right? There's already reports out there. I would say this is different than, say, last year, Lamar Jackson didn't have an agent, and people thought that he hurt his draft stock because he didn't do appearances, that he didn't do these things. And my thought on that was there's no way that hurt his draft stock. There's no way all 32 teams are sitting there watching.
It's almost like good that you don't want a guy. Like, some teams will not want a guy who's going to be very public facing.
Yeah. So I don't think last year did anything to harm Lamar Jackson's draft stock, because just having like a positive interview or anything like that wasn't going to change. It's not going to change his film. It's not going to change their private interviews, their workouts, or anything that they had with him. With Kyler Murray, it's different, because you actually have a guy that's considering baseball, and he's legitimately considering baseball, and he went out there and did not commit to football. That is a massive red flag for an NFL football team, where their favorite thing is to be like, do you love football, son?
Yes.
Do you love football? Do you love, they ask every single prospect, do you love football? And then they come out and positively say, this guy loves football. We love that.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray did not come across as loving football.
Well, what it's coming out across as is he loves the money, and which, like, obviously everyone loves the money, but he's just seemingly holding the MLB hostage in terms of he just wants more money than what his slated draft slot was, and then he'll choose baseball. But it's like, again, that's coming off to NFL GMs as, he doesn't love football, and at the most premium position where you have to love football, you have to go above and beyond more than any other position in the NFL in terms of off-field tape study, preparation, that sort of thing. I do think this whole, like the hemming and hawing, like I'm saying, the one interview is not going to hurt you. The fact that he shows up to an interview and has no clue what he's going to answer to, are you going to play football or are you going to play baseball? The fact that he sounds like an idiot trying to answer those questions, that's not going to hurt it. But the longer he drags this out is what I think is going to hurt it.
I think it's going to instill doubt, man. I think it's going to instill doubt in enough teams who look at petty things. And I'm not saying this is petty or important or whatever, but they look at petty things to eliminate you. Teams don't like to go in with a draft board of 300 guys. They like to go in with a draft board of 75 to 150 guys. Let's focus on these guys. We trust them and all this stuff. And the sooner they can eliminate a guy and say, all right, we don't have to waste our time in the evaluate, because it takes a ton of time, by the way. You've got 30 visits.
Yes.
You have to do background checks. It takes a lot of time. The sooner they can eliminate a guy, I think they want to.
Yes.
And I think a lot of teams are going to just be like, man, he's not committed.
Well, then just information overload. You just can't feasibly keep 300 prospects.
Yeah, right. You can't
fresh
get
in your mind. So yes, you are looking to get guys that you just, it's not a fit. He's off the board. We don't have to deal with him. We don't have to even commit resources to this anymore. So I can see it. I mean, I don't know what his timetable is for a decision. I don't know what he's waiting for at this point, but a decision needs to be made one way or the other, especially if he's going to play football. It needs to be made as soon as possible.
Yeah, I agree there. From an on-field standpoint, Kyler Murray, we have right now as our #1 quarterback in our rankings. He was incredible last year at Oklahoma. We're not as confident in him as, say, as Baker Mayfield. We have 1 year of very good play from Kyler versus 3 from Mayfield, and Mayfield was also better in the key areas that translate to the NFL. So there's more doubt with Kyler Murray, but when you stack him up against Haskins and Locke and Daniel Jones,
Whether
we're just running a model with just numbers or we're doing film evaluation, Kyler Murray's coming out number one for us.
Mm-hmm. And that's not even adding in. I mean, that is somewhat adding in, but not completely adding in his rushing ability. Just in terms of pure thrower, he is stacking up with them as well, which that was not the case for Lamar Jackson a season ago. We kept saying with Lamar Jackson, there's a way for him to win.
Some really loud thunder out there,
It is
Mike.
not. Yeah, hopefully you guys can't hear that. But
we're in like a bomb shelter here or whatever. So if it's flooding out there, I think we're safe. But I'd like to.
That is very loud. But yeah, what we kept saying about Lamar Jackson is it's almost like evaluating a completely different player in terms of you just can't win as a pure passer with him. You're never going to win with a pure passer. It has to be the legs. It has to be that.
Right.
With Murray, he brings some of that rushing to the table, but also as a pure passer, if you don't want to use his rushing threat at all, he's still in that conversation.
It's a great point. It's actually a great way to separate our evaluations of Kyler and Lamar, to put it like that.